I was like, brain damage. The feeling of seeing the same pattern came. Grab him, it's about to be a big show when Ray happens to hop on one leg in a straight madness. I mean 619 till fate happens. The Rock undertakes action. Nighttime with blade, actually blades, axes, precision with blade, slashes his blade, ashes remain scattered. The fact that my name hasn't impacted the game, fragments of actual hate matter have attached and remain active, have actually drained out. Back with a bait bang and I'm rapping with great language, they fag me in straight practice. I mean, I was in between her like Jay when Simon says stay then, kneel before you will get killed before the day ends. I guess it's time for me to pray then. As I walk through the valley of my late friends, enemies disguised as brave men, forgive for I do not hate them, I rate them. To have conviction, to make threats, to sit behind keyboards in plain text. How could you handle the pain, stress, the angles I've happened to battle don't make sense. I mean, you don't hate me, you just hate. Yes. It's beginning to actually make sense. You never had a dad and you hate sex, you don't solve problems. You detach and relate them, you're a casual racist, talentless rapist. You couldn't get a fan if you made it now. Watches the fans in a stand in amazement as you get a hand handling H's. Hypocrites haven't had at it for ages. Hyperbolic time chamber had man havoc creating. If happiness happens, hooray. But if sadness harasses my patience, I'm waiting. I'm inhaling a natural fragrance. I mean, you think you can fuck with an artist, you came covered in something retarded. The blood of a half-wit was never meant to be fucking with artists. As I find myself blaming the world for something my March did, everything became utterly calming. I mean, I got a girl, a dog, and a lovely apartment. I got hurt by my fan, but nothing was scarring. Imagine telling people to jam, but they're constantly jarring. It's like Herbert roll with the vermin go to get merch to smoke, but don't get it twisted though. I developed one of my sickest flows on rip and roll. This is for the kids at home that never got that twisted Christmas joke. A fat white man with a surprise like Kinder. No, shit was cold. My present was the present and I had to make sure ribbon holes. Cause you could get ironically wrapped if you ain't on your tippy toes. The stakes are high, like a sandwich in Philly, so don't finish slow. I mean, I ain't done this thing in a minute, bro. I'm feeling really old. But don't get it twisted though. This is rhythmics, bro. Don't think it ain't my decision to kill him slow, cause many man can get abs. But no man can get a bit, brutal. I retract iron claws when I feel force, flash back to my real form. I was never a baby, but I was still born. Whether you like it or not, I will storm. I've seen shit get peak. They're gonna have to clone my eyelids. I'm the only one that knows how to control the violence. Try to infect me, of course they tried it. I'm gonna be one of the sole survivors of the Ebola virus. And if it's time for me to go, alright then. But I never prayed for hope or hope for guidance. I'm the only highness from a long line of Trojan pirates that set sail for gold. Besides, it's more than tells if I told it righteous. Girl false winds can control the tide, and I'ma ride the wave and control Poseidon. I mean, they were playing FIFA. I was flow design. I was a ghost on Rikers, trapped behind bars, that's a lonely island. I was close to life and I went and got bail, shit got rail. Now I'm in a league with the coldest rhymers. I meditated for days in the elevator in space, and I elevated the plane just to get away from the snakes, and I separated the apes just to get away from the jakes. And life's more than bathing the apes and getting waves with your mates. I mean, they want me to stop smiling. But I'm godlike, and if God's like this, then I think higher than most, and they just want to keep talking about the fact that I'm light-skinned. My wish is alive in every single person. You just have to revive it, bring it back to the light. It was taking you from a child, rents didn't teach you about enlightenment. Right when you thought you had it right, bends in your life tend to turn your life into a right mess. You haven't taken time to understand you, let alone tell me how to vibe dread. You gonna get this work, I guess, but this is part one of the stories for the readers to digest. I was like, it's complicated. You're not going to want to admit it. But under that image, there's always going to be another decision. I mean, life is a choice. So don't ever once for a minute think I ever made love and thought nothing was in it. That's a juxtaposition. Once we connect, we connect. You can't fuck with the system. Your labels belong to you. I mean, one with your image, in touch with your pigment. You can say what you want about love, but I could describe my position. I mean, you make me feel that fire within. I hit that right spot because I was in time with your yin. Focused on the time we were in and realised that my minds were akin. I said, listen queen, you can't lie to a king. Love ain't a word. It doesn't actually describe anything. I mean, it hurts when you say that. I remind you of him because you're describing within. So when I say sex with you is more than a life full of sin, when I look into your eyes, it's as if though I could begin writing again, but you can't ever just say sorry, it's all I didn't think. My mind wasn't in. Silence is bliss. Time is of the essence, so can labels really define anything? I mean, I won't judge you if you understand I was hurt too, so I decided to ride with the trends. But mistakes have to be made for your mind to ascend. I said teach a man to be a man before you judge him by his actions. I'm a man as I am, not a man for what I have been. I ain't running, I'm standing. I could have been with double-digit girls and that's a madness, but now I understand it's more than just semantics. Life is calculations, mathematics. I have to understand the impact of my actions before they happen. I could hold my hand high and say that I've done some bad things, but life is fractions. Part of me had to be bad so I could understand the laws of attractions as I finished, Becky.